Hello everyone, welcome to Genius channel. We are going to see some NDA previous year English questions. See the question number 37. Question number 37. Okay. So here what we have to do is we have to find out the correct order of the statements. Find out the correct order of the statements. In this section, each item consists of 6 sentences of a passage. The first and 6 sentences are given in the beginning as S1 and S6. The middle 4 sentences in each having jumbled up and labeled P, Q, R, and S. You are required to find the proper sequence of the 4 sentences and mark your response accordingly in the answer sheet. Okay, so there will be 6 sentences. First and 6 sentences are given. The in-between sentences you have to make in order. Okay. The British rule in India has brought about moral, material, cultural, and spiritual ruination of this great country. That is the first statement. Second statement, we are not to kill anybody, but it is our dharma to see that curse of this government is blotted out. The British rule in India has brought about moral, material, cultural, and spiritual ruination of this great country. We are not to kill anybody, but it is our dharma to see that the curse of this government is blotted out. Okay, so that is the first and last statements. Then in between statements are, I regard this rule as a curse. Sedition has become my religion. Ours is not violent battle. I am not to destroy the system of government. Okay, so identify the correct sequence. I'll give you 30 seconds. Identify the correct sequence. So first I'll show it again. All the statements are S1, S2. So S1, S6 is already there. S1 and S6 is already there. Identify the correct order. British rule in India has brought about moral, material, cultural, and spiritual ruination of this great country. Arrange this jumbled passage into correct order. All of you comment it after doing. Okay. So the British rule. So it is talking of, they are talking about British rule, isn't it? So a second statement would be like, I regard this rule as a curse. The British rule in India has brought about moral, material, cultural, and spiritual ruination of this great country. I regard this rule as a curse. I regard this rule as a curse. I am out to destroy this system. I am out to destroy this system. I am out to destroy this system of government. So PS, 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 I am out to destroy this system. I regard this rule as a curse. I am out to destroy the system of government. Then what will be the next one? Sedition has become my religion. Ours is a non-violent battle. Ours is a non-violent battle. We are not to kill anybody, but it is our dharma to see that the curse of this government is blotted out. So it is P S Q R. P S Q R. P S Q R. So that is the option B. Option B is the correct arrangement. P S R Q. Option B. Okay, so practice more, you'll be getting the correct order. Practice more and more questions, do more and more passages. Okay. So next question. Next is also ordering of words in a sentence. So earlier we seen this is ordering of sentence as such. Here there is a single statement, single sentence. You have to order the words. Okay. Each of the following items in this section consist of a sentence, the parts of which have been jumbled. These parts have been labeled P, Q, R, and S. Given below each sentence are four sequences, namely A, B, C, and D. You are required to rearrange the jumbled parts of the sentence and mark your response accordingly. The urban local body elections, unidentified gunman and injured another during shot dead to workers. You have to arrange these jumbled parts of sentence. Arrange it. Question number 38. Yes. So here, unidentified gunman shot dead two workers and injured another during the urban local body elections. Isn't it? That will be the correct sequence, right? QSRP, unidentified gunman shot dead two workers and injured another during the urban local body election. So it is QSRP, option A. QSRP. Unidentified gunman shot dead two workers and injured another during the urban local body election. So make it like you get a correct meaning. Okay. Next question. Question number 39. Question number 39. All of you read, comment the answers. Both intense political and this state has a history of syncretic accomplishments, religious contestations, and try to get the meaning, arrange in the correct order. Okay, so what is the correct order? This state has a history of both intense political and religious contestation and of syncretic accomplishment. Okay, so QPSR, option D. The state has a history of both intense political and religious contestation and of syncretic accomplishment. Statement D. That means option D. Moving to the next question. Question number 40. The father also, in his quest for justice by the system, feels let down. The father also, in his quest for justice by the system, feels let down. Which is the correct order? Yes, what is the correct order? Option B, isn't it? The father also feels let down by the system in his quest for justice. Okay, so that is the correct order. Father also feels let down by the system in his quest for justice. Okay, so moving to the next question. Next question will be another type. Yeah, comprehension. In this section, you have a passage. After the passage, you will find some items based on the passage. First, read the passage and answer the items based on it. You are required to select your answers based on the contents of the passage and on opinion of the author only. Okay, so you'll be given a passage and they're asking some questions based on this passage. Okay, so first you have to read the passage. I do not wish to suggest that because we were one nation, we had no differences, but it is submitted that our leading men traveled throughout India either on foot or in bullock carts. They learned one another's language and there was no aloofness amongst them. What do you think could have been the intention of those far-seeing ancestors of ours who established Setubandha in the south, Jagannath in the east, Haridwar in the north as places of pilgrimage? You will admit they were no fools. They knew that worship of God could have been performed just as well at home. They taught us that those whose hearts were aglow with righteousness had the Ganges in their own homes. But they saw that India was one in undivided land, so made by nature. Okay, so we'll go to the first question, then again come back to the paragraph. According to the author, India, that's number 41. According to the author, India has never been one nation, has been an aggregate of several nations, has been always been one nation along with differences, became a nation after the British came. Okay. So according to the author, what kind of nation is India? That is what you have to identify. So has never been one nation, has been an aggregate of several nations, has always been one nation along with differences, became a nation after the British came. So what is the correct? Read it. India was one undivided land. India was one undivided land, isn't it? It was an undivided land with different kind of people, isn't it? With different kind of people. That is what the author trying to say. So that is option C, isn't it? It has been a one nation with along with differences. Next question number 42. Why did the great sages of India establish pilgrimage in different corners of the country? Why did the great sages of India establish pilgrims in different corners of the country? Because they wanted to push people to travel to different places, because they could observe the underlying unity of the country as made by nature, because they themselves had traveled to these places, because they wanted people to be religious everywhere. Okay, so read the passage again. Why the pilgrims wanted to establish the pilgrims centers everywhere. Yes, what is the answer? But they saw that India was one undivided land, so made by nature. That's why they have kept uh, the pilgrimage centers in every corners of the country, not in one corner. They argued that it must be one nation. It must be one nation. Okay. So answer is because they could observe. Because they could observe the underlying unity of the country as made by nature. Okay. So moving to the next question. Question number 43. In this passage, the author's attitude towards the railways is critical, sympathetic, indifferent, apathetic. Author's attitude towards railways. So read the passage again. Author's attitude towards the railways. Arguing this, they established holy places in various parts of India and fired the people with an idea of nationality in a manner unknown in other parts of the world. And we Indians are one as no two Englishmen are. So identify the statement saying about railway. Only you and I and others who consider themselves civilized and superior persons imagine that we are many nations. It was after the advent of railways that we began to believe in distinctions, and you are at liberty now to say that it is through railways that we are beginning to abolish those distinctions. Okay, so this is a statement about railways. So tell me whether what is the author's feeling about railways? Yes, see, critical, isn't it? After the advent of railways, we begin to believe in distinctions or differences difference among the people we noticed due to what? Due to the advent of railway. We could travel from one place to another. We could identify this distinction. So the answer is critical, 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 critical. What does the author mean when he says that whose hearts were aglow with righteousness had the Ganges in their own homes? What does the author mean when he says that whose hearts were aglow with righteousness had the Ganges in their own homes? Yes, the purity of heart is superior to observance of any ritual. That means if a person is good, he can worship or he can see the God in his home itself. Okay. Now, question number 45. The paragraph is written in dialogic style, prescriptive style, descriptive style, analytical style. In which style this is written? Yes, here it is in what style? Here it is in descriptive style. Descriptive style. Here he is writing the author. This passage is written in descriptive style. Descriptive style means in descriptive style, the author specifies an event and an object or a thing. Okay, so here mainly about the nature of India, the author is saying, isn't it? So the paragraph is written in descriptive style. With descriptive style, option C. Okay, so see you everyone in another video with more questions. Thank you so much.